The city manager estimates Auburn will face upwards of a $3.5 million deficit heading into the budget process for the 2014-15 fiscal year. How do you plan to address that deficit?
Okay, we've already touched upon major issues. I'm just going to, because this is part of it, answering that question. The cogen facility, number one, that has to be a priority. We have to have our staff work on that, give it the attention it needs so that we can turn that situation around, because of the number that the city manager has projected as a deficit. Over $1 million of that is directly related to the cogen plant. Some of the other things that I would do, we've seen at least the past few years, I think longer than that, we've seen a budget process where decisions have been kind of kicked down the road until the last minute. So there's been some procrastination. We haven't seen a process that where we've had all of the various departments come in and talk about their budgets, present their budgets to the council. I would employ zero-based budgeting, which requires that. It would require every department to come in and to go through their budget line by line, and it would be done in advance of any vote that would be taken to adopt a budget or any public hearing. So we need to go set up a formal process. We need to have the departments come in during that budget process. This was always the practice when I was a city councilor, when I was mayor. We conducted a similar process when I was a county legislator. Department heads would come in, they would present their budgets, and council members, elected officials, would get an opportunity to ask questions and get a better understanding of, what money's being expended for, if there are any revenues appropriate that are coming in as a result of a specific department's operations. You would learn about those numbers for those projections for the coming year. So that would be the second thing I would do. I would take a look at the budget process itself. I would start that up very early on, and I would engage the department heads. The city manager is charged by the city charter to actually put a budget document together, a proposed budget document together, a tentative budget. City manager would then have the department heads come in and talk about those numbers one by one, and we would, in my opinion, employ zero-based budgeting, which would give us an opportunity to look at everything that's being done. We've talked about, there's been a lot of talk, and the buzzword restructuring has been used, but I don't see that being done in an organized fashion. That is something that I think could lead to better efficiencies, better organizational structure, and hopefully with some dollar savings. What I see happening now is a situation where the organizational structure, such as it is, where you don't have clear lines of oversight and command. They might exist on paper, but you don't see that being carried out. So I think that we have to exercise some leadership at City Hall, something that I haven't seen happen, and we have to go through these steps. We have to have an organizational structure, hopefully arrive at a place where we have an organizational structure with clear lines of responsibilities and oversight in a command structure, so people know what their roles and responsibilities are throughout the organization, And so there's some accountability.